Welcome back to Finding G-Spots. G here, and today we're going to look at the Kanowna Ghost Town and Pioneer Cemetery, which is about 20 kilometres northeast of Kalgoorlie, which you just follow Yarry Road and you'll come to, I won't say remains because there's not much remains left. In fact, this little clip here you can see is about all that I could find in terms of building. It looked like the remains of foundations of a building. Apart from that, there's just a lot of street signs which tell you where the old streets are, but you can see it's quite an area which you can see where the land was cleared years ago for all the buildings there. Now, this town was gazetted way back in 1894, and believe it or not, by the turn of the century they had over 10,000 people living there. Now, as I mentioned, there's not much that remains there now. It sort of borders on a lot of mining land, and you can see there's a beautiful salt lake here which I think is part of the mines, but more about that later. So yeah, you can see some of the signs here. Some of them are in good condition and some of them are a bit worn. So there are locations for the hospital and the post office and a few other buildings. When you walk around you'll be able to look for them. Now, I mentioned the mines, so one of the big mines is the Kanowna Bell operations, and there used to be some viewing platforms. There is some signs saying they're still there, but I wasn't able to find them, although I did visit them about 10 years ago, where you could have a look out onto the mine similar to the KCGM lookout. So if anyone knows if they're still open, the viewing platforms, yeah, let me know. I mean, love them or hate them, the mines are quite interesting. They're huge, and you can see where the workings are. And that sort of borders on this ghost town, which the very reason it was there was, of course, gold, which ran out, declined in the early 1900s, and that led to the decline of the town. Now you can see here, you can see where that some of the streets are if you see it from the air here. And it's amazing to think that this was a thriving town with so many people and so many buildings. So I'm guessing a lot of the materials for the buildings were recycled or disposed of, or they just eroded over time, because you're thinking now it's over 70 years since there was people actually, or lots of people living in this town. Now, not far away, so a few kilometers closer to Kalgoorlie, you'll be able to visit the Kalgoorlie Pioneer Cemetery. This is a cemetery where there's quite a few headstones remaining, and you can have a look and read a little bit about some of the people here. It's a little bit sad to read some of them. Some of the people died when they were very young, obviously from illness, and accidents took a few lives. But very interesting to walk around and have a look at the old graves here. I guess there's probably a couple of dozen at least in this little area. And next to the cemetery is a little area, sort of like a picnic area. So that's right in the car park, and there's some benches and tables. You can sit down in some nice trees to provide some shade if it's hot. So there you go, that's the fascinating Kanowna Ghost Town and the cemetery. It's not far from town, so if you're near Kalgoorlie, go and check it out. Thanks a lot, bye.